I'm Luis J. Rodriguez, and I'm really honored to be able to speak to you all. I'm actually here in Pomo land. We're here to struggle for the indigenous land back, to give it to the indigenous people because they can also be the best stewards and protectors of the land, the redwoods. We're here in Mendocino County to support the struggle and all the struggles of indigenous sovereignty in the state of California. I'm running for governor, and that's an aside point, but it's an important point because I'm trying to raise certain issues. My biggest issue is that we need a California we can reimagine and build for the shared well-being of everyone. To me, nobody talks about this. Everybody's got different constituencies that they want to represent. Most of it is the corporate, as you know, or corporate-owned parties, Democrats, Republicans, others. I'm not against Democrats as members. I'm not against Republicans. I'm trying to get all the disaffected people involved. But I'm speaking to you as young people. This is our time. Where there's so much danger, so much chaos in the world. We need to be able to be out there with coherency, with unity, with the right issues that covers everybody. We want to end poverty in this state. We want to end homelessness. It does not have to be any houseless people in this state. We want to be able to have the best climate environment possible. Why not? It's possible, especially if we learn from our indigenous brothers and sisters. We want to be able to have universal single-payer health care that couldn't pass in the legislature, but we would fight very hard to make sure everyone's covered and nobody has to pay the best quality health care. We want the best education for everyone. Education is not just a nice thing to do, we need it. People need to be properly educated. And to change the idea of what jobs are. We like to be able to make sure that people can live out their passions, live out the things they were meant to do, their callings. The jobs are too much controlled by big industries, big corporations who decide what your job is available, and then they don't pay you anything. We definitely want to have labor involvement, organized labor. I'm also going to be working very closely with Crystal Sanchez out of Sacramento. She's the head of the Sacramento Union of the Homeless. So we're very much linked up with the Union of Homeless that has 20 chapters in the state of California. And we want to make sure that we have the most impacted people, including yourselves. Be the leaders, be the speakers, be the organizers. It's not about those that aren't impacted running things. It's about getting those who are most impacted. My story particularly is that I come from a very poor family, a migrant from Mexico. My mother got roots with the Tarahumara Rarámuri people of Mexico, so I definitely identify with my indigenous roots. But I also grew up in a part of the San Gabriel Valley that used to be a migrant community that worked the orange fields, the walnut fields. By the time I lived there, the walnut fields, orange fields were gone. It all became suburbs, and there was these fairly off-white suburbs surrounding our poor dirt road neighborhoods. We were poor, dirt road. The sheriff's deputies were like an army used against us. We were in constant warfare. I remember when they were trying to get me to go to Vietnam when I was a young man, and I would say, I don't need to go to Vietnam, I'm already in a war. War for our livelihood, war to be seen, war to be heard. I think this is the situation that we're in. I would like for us to be strategic in this war. I would like for us to have a coherency in our organizing, making sure that we in fact are bringing in the most impacted. And I would like for us to create a whole new leadership that comes from those who haven't been heard, haven't been seen. This is the time. I am talking to all peoples in the state because poverty touches all races, all ethnicities, so this is not just limited to anybody. I want everybody to be included. I know that a lot of people feel excluded. They're not being heard, they're not being voiced, and they come from all races, and we want to include everybody because this is where poverty hits. Poverty hits everybody, and it even hits Republicans and Democrats. Poverty doesn't decide I'm going to only support one party over another. Poverty hits everybody. So I'm also looking for the independent voices, those people who are willing to speak out on their own, not be part of any party. We want them. I'm fortunate that so far the Green Party, Peace and Freedom Party, and Justice parties have endorsed this campaign. We're getting other endorsements. So there's three things I want to say that we need to do. And that's part of whatever we do. Whether you're part of this campaign or not, that's up to you all. But here's what I would say. We need to definitely get more voters and people registered. More of us need to be out there. The electoral arena, I get it, is very corrupt and very inept. But we can't give it up. We can't give up that space. We can't just let the corporations come in and run roughshod. We need to say this is our space too. Every space we have to fight for. We got to say this is where we have to speak, and I don't want to turn it over to anybody. So let's fight for that space. Let's make sure that it actually represents us and not just talk about representing us. We're looking for support, donations. All the people running for governor, other than myself and a few others, are going to have a lot of money. We need to raise enough money to really challenge the status quo. And that's what I would like for other people to do. I don't want corporate donations. I can't. I'm not going to accept corporate donations. We want the small money, as they call it, but enough small money can make big money. So if we can raise $1 million at least, even if it's $1 from 1 million people, that's the start of something major. And the other only thing is, I'm personally looking for endorsements from anybody, individual endorsements, organizational endorsements. I get that nonprofits can't endorse, but other people can. Let's spread this around. This is not about me as a person. This is not about I don't want power. I don't want control. I want to open up the doors so that those who don't get heard, that can't always be seen, are the ones organizing and running what's going on in the state. Give it to the unhoused. Give it to the people who don't have health care. Give it to the poor. Give it to those who are in unions struggling just to survive. Give it to those who are not in unions, who need to be organized. So I just want to give that message. My message is not very big and long, and I don't want to be long-winded here, but I do want to say that this is our time to take over as much as we can. I will use strategy. I would use thinking. I would use principles. I don't think it's about just taking over, running roughshod, but I do think that we can plan a unity of principles and goals and vision, and that's what I'm about. So our slogan is, imagine a new California for shared well-being, then let's build it. So our goal is to dream big and deliver big. So thank you all very much for listening, and from the Barrio all the way through every part of the state, let's come together. Thank you all very much.